Hello all my Kenvians and welcome to a new episode of Discovering Doctor Who. Today I'm going to be watching The Ghost Monument, the second episode in the 11th series of, the new era of Doctor Who. And after the last episode, I do just want to say one thing. I know I was really bothered by the death of Grace and some of the writing. I still have issue with a few of the deaths in that episode. Just it didn't sit well with me personally. I understand the arguments that everyone gave, and I totally get it. That being said, Grace's death, I understand it better now, and I don't think it's bad writing. I think it actually is good writing, and it's a good setup for the rest of this season. That being said, let's get right into it and begin The Ghost Monument and see what the second episode and the Doctor fully realized as herself can give us. I'm beginning in 3, 2, 1, go.
Does it even have a name?
Only a symbol or a warning. Closest word is
Dalek.
desolation.
Oh, well, it starts with a D.
Right.
Okay, so he's in a race with her, maybe? Because he said he's not going to be beaten? Although she clearly made it to the planet first. How is it that that's on an entire planet that they just happen to crash land exactly where they're walking? I mean, don't get me wrong. I get it plot-wise, but seriously.
By the way, welcome to what I presume is your first alien planet. Don't touch anything. Look at you. I remember who I borrowed them off now. Audrey Hepburn or Pythagoras. Obviously never saw him with a hangover.
Oh, hello.
See, hologram. Thought it might be. Good one though. I love a good hologram. I was a hologram once. 3 weeks. Gossip I picked up. What are you?
Excuse me, we are human beings who show a bit of solidarity.
And Moxtron. She's Albarian.
Never even heard of Moomin beings.
Moomin beings.
Beings.
Cool race. Leaving.
We're all alone. So we start and end, and it's a natural state at all points in between.
Oh, so he's a philosopher.
What did you have to work out?
Really crappy philosopher.
That ankle. And she stood over me and she said, now you've learned. You can never trust anyone in this life.
Your mom abused you, dude!
Stop.
Yeah.
What you did for me.
Hi,
Where did they come from?
I don't know.
stormtroopers.
Oh my god, don't
Okay then. Oh, thank God they've got the aim of stormtroopers.
Things taking out the aliens. Reload. Where's the reload?
Yeah, he should have checked it out before he... How did he not get shot? They're sniper bots.
Just a little bit, yeah.
I want answers to this planet and I think they're down there.
You sure about that?
No. Come on.
You sure about that? Nope.
How's the injury?
Painful.
Hope it's made you reconsider your entire philosophy.
No.
Doctor.
Yeah. Cause I've got a stick stuck up my arse.
All around the walls.
Hear that noise? Come to Daddy. Where are you?
Mommy.
I really need you right now. My beautiful ghost monument.
Holy crap! Okay. All right, the Ghost Monument. that episode was a roller coaster ride. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There was some moments where I was actually, I just didn't know what to expect. I was worried that the character Epzo was just gonna completely take me out of it. But it was a solid episode overall. What was that? What was the one hologram guy's name? Ilos or something like that? I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, yeah, that was a pretty solid episode. Let's get into some of my favorite parts of this episode, starting with, surprisingly enough, both Angstrom and Epzo. Now, Epzo was definitely, I would say he would be an annoyance of mine for a fair portion of the episode, but he did grow, given it was because he almost died, but he did have some character growth. And Angstrom, she overall didn't really seem to have a lot of character growth, except for, she came to accept the Doctor and the others more. But, like, she was a strong character to begin with, especially her backstory. Now, Epzo's backstory, I'm sorry, but if your mom has you jump out of a tree and says she's going to catch you, and then she moves out of the way so that you break bones, that's abuse. That's not a lesson, that's abuse. So, yeah, just two really interesting characters I really enjoyed here. And it was really unfortunate that they did do the, they just disappeared all of a sudden there at the end. But I have a feeling that this series is going to have an overarching, whatever it is, story arc that involves this. Oh God, am I getting the name wrong? The Stenza? I think that's right. But that involves them, involves Angstrom's family. It didn't seem like Epzo really had any ties to the Stenza or anything like that. But yeah, I hope at the very least we see Angstrom again, but if we do see both of those characters again in the future, I think it'd be really interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they tie this series together as a whole. I thought they were originally supposed to be doing these as complete standalone episodes for the 11th series, but apparently not. I'm sure that each episode will stand on its own, but I'm going to guess that they all tie together in, at least at this point, what seems like the basis for a strong, overarching story. So yeah, you could call that my second favorite part of this episode, the establishment of a larger universe that seems to be consistent so far. Anyway, my next favorite part was just the idea of this large intergalactic race, or the Rally of the 12 Galaxies. Now, the actual race itself, considering apparently it started with 4,000 and it ended with 2, and death is very likely a penalty and all that. Yeah, it kind of seems like capitalism as we know it here on Earth run amok, which, I wouldn't doubt will happen in the future. But regardless, just the concept of it seems so cool. And it does seem like there have been some movies, maybe not TV shows yet, but it's like there has been media, like stories about these races across the galaxies, or even if not necessarily to that point. I mean, we've had stories of races around the Earth, farther back in time, across multiple countries at once. I really like that concept. So that's actually something I would like to explore more of, is this concept of a race across multiple galaxies. If there are any movies or books about that you might know of, please let me know what they are in the comments down below. I'd be interested to see what all's out there. My next favorite part was how they handled the translating. Now, obviously, you know, the TARDIS isn't there, so it's they haven't been set up to have all of the universe's languages translated to them. So when they brought it up, it's like, you know, how are we understanding these people if they're not humans, if they're not Earthlings? It made sense. It's like, you know, they got those implants. And they were passed out for a while, so it's entirely plausible that something like that would happen. I do wish we had seen the implants going in, at the very least. I feel like that would have been a little bit better of a step, but I feel like they handled that overall quite effectively. My next favorite part was when they were talking to Angstrom and Epso about, like, you know, it's like, well, you all are human beings too, right? And Angstrom basically says, "Moomin beings." And it's such an absurd word that I loved it. I really did love it. I almost want to try and use it in, well, maybe not everyday language, because then I really would look like a complete weirdo, more so than usual. But yeah, just Moomin beings. I love that, and it's something that I hope possibly becomes a running joke in the show. It won't, but I can hope. Now this next part, I guess you could call it both a favorite and an annoyance, sort of combined in one. But the sniper bots, I really like the concept of them. I found it hilarious that they basically were robotic versions of stormtroopers from Star Wars, both kind of visually and also in their aim abilities. However, steering into an annoyance, when Ryan took the gun and ran out and just started shooting some of them, if these things are supposed to be sniper bots, well, first of all, the name is incredibly inaccurate because of their stormtrooper-like aim. But also, he was just kind of running around completely open. Like, he wasn't trying to dodge really or anything like that. It's the fact that he didn't at least get grazed by a bullet is just completely unbelievable. It wouldn't be like a deadly shot or anything like that. It's like that Epso guy took one of the chest and he recovered. It was just like, you know, he got shot, but he's okay. It's like, I found it strange that despite Ryan running out there wildly and not even taking them all down at once, but like he had time to take down the 4 or however many sniper bots, and then they get up and then he starts running and not a single one of them even managed to graze him. That just, I mean, I know I'm talking about realism in a show about a Time Lord who is on their technically 14th cycle, 14th regeneration. But yeah, it just really bothers me, that one particular scene. As far as another annoyance goes, this is both a thing I really liked as well as an annoyance, but one part I really liked was these cloths, like, you know, the kind that apparently strangle you to death. I found them to be really cool, very ghost-like, and just truly intimidating as a creature. And the fact that it can talk to you and sort of haunt your thoughts and it gets inside your head, that makes it even worse. But I think just the one thing about it that truly does bother me is they went up top where it's supposed to be incredibly dangerous, so it's like, you know, don't travel at night. So am I supposed to believe that those were the only ones of those beings that were out at night, that were surrounding them. I mean, yes, they did get taken care of by the fire caused by the acetylene, I think is how it's called. Yeah, but again, I find it hard to believe that would be the only danger, or the only perhaps group of them that's outside that entire time. Because, I mean, they had the rest of the night to travel. So yeah, I just, I don't know there. And then they also refer to the atmosphere as being toxic. Now, yes, the water was clearly very toxic. Apparently, if you touch it, it would just, like, probably dissolve you. But they refer to the atmosphere as being toxic several times, so it just seems kind of strange to me that there weren't really any signs of that. It's like everyone seemed perfectly fine. It didn't seem like anyone was, like, experiencing fatigue, or maybe even getting radiation poisoning, or something along those lines. I felt like that was perhaps a detail that could have used a little bit more, like, show, don't tell, or show and tell, because you told us a lot, so you need to show us a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Again, that's just me. But then that brings us to just one of my absolute favorite parts of this entire episode, and that is the reveal of the new TARDIS. One, not only has the outside of the TARDIS apparently been modified slightly, the front part, it's now black, like a black backing with white text, but the inside, I don't know if it's more reminiscent of perhaps some older Doctor's TARDISes, but it reminds, like, the color scheme and just the the color scheme and somewhat the darkness of it really reminded me of how it looked when the Ninth Doctor was there. If you have any better comparisons, please do let me know, but that's the thought that came to mind for me, was that it was so reminiscent of the Ninth Doctor's TARDIS. So yeah. But yeah, I'm so glad we have the TARDIS again. I'm so glad that we're going to be going on a proper adventure next time. I don't know if they'll be going straight back to Earth or not, since we know that the TARDIS tends to do whatever she wants. But yeah, I'm really excited for the next episode. So very excited. And I actually don't even know the name of the next episode. Do they have it listed here? They do not seem to. Oh wait, actually, I know what I can do. I can, first of all, mute that. I'm going to mute it so that... Okay. So... next time... Okay. I don't get an episode name. So, whenever I find out what the episode name is here, hopefully before I finish editing this, I'll put it down here. Otherwise, I have no freaking clue. Now, track-wise of the episode, yeah, I'm sorry, but it's just like the updated new Doctor Who theme is just awesome. I really enjoy it. I personally still think that the theme from when Tennant was the Doctor is still my favorite version, but this was really good. I really enjoy it, and especially since I got more of it there at the intro there. Speaking of which, the intro for the episodes, I found it interesting that one, there was no TARDIS, and we never saw like the Doctor's face. So either one, they've like removed all of that for this new series, which, I mean, they really only brought the face back for Capaldi, like that 1 or 2 series. But I'm going to assume that maybe with the next episode, we will see the TARDIS again in the intro, or maybe not. Maybe they'll have left it out altogether. I really don't know, but I am again just super intrigued to find out what's going to happen. So yeah, The Woman Who Fell to Earth, I mean, upon first watching, because of the emotional impact it had on me, I had some issues with it, but in truth it was a great episode. The Ghost Monument didn't have the emotional impact. They're sort of, they're putting in little hints of what could become highly emotional aspects, especially as Ryan and Graham start to explore their relationship as step-grandfather and step-grandson go. And then Yaz with her family, I'm sure we'll probably get to see some elements of that. But yeah, all that aside, great episode, and very much looking forward to episode 3 of Series 11. So everyone, thank you so much for being here, for my ramblings, for the portion of the reaction that you did see. And for those of you that listen and don't actually watch the video, just so you know, there is an extended cut of this in the link in the description down below if you want to go check that out. So, until next time everyone, for the next episode, whatever it's called, I am Papa Ken, and I will see you in the next episode of Discovering Doctor Who.